Hey there, thanks for joining me today. So, we are getting started in the book of Deuteronomy in today's reading. And before I get started with the reading of chapters 1 and 2, I wanted to read this little excerpt that is in my Bible about the book before the actual Bible part starts. It just helps to give me a little bit more of an understanding of what the book's about, and I thought it might help you too. So, this is what it says. You're about to say farewell to a friend you will never see again. What do you say? That is the setting of Deuteronomy. For 40 years, Moses invested himself in the lives of God's chosen people. After guiding the Israelites out of Egypt and crossing the Red Sea, it quickly became obvious that the Israelites had a little too much Egypt in them. An entire generation would spend the rest of their lives in the wilderness, waiting to die, while the next generation prepared to inhabit the Promised Land. 40 years later, the next generation was ready. Unfortunately, Moses must stay behind on the other side of the Jordan River, which is why these were his last words to Israel. Deuteronomy, which means second law, is the final installment of the Pentateuch, the first 5 Old Testament books. Moses had given the law to the parents, and now he must spend the next few days giving the law a second time to their children. So, as you read this, imagine a wise, older man leaving his final words with his beloved prodigies. This book acts as a written covenant between God and his people. A covenant is an agreement between two parties, usually a greater power and a lesser power. The greater power agrees to protect and provide for the lesser power in exchange for the lesser power's loyalty and obedience. All of the elements of an ancient covenant are present: the preamble, the historical prologue or introduction, the stipulations or requirements of the covenant, the blessings and curses that result from following or not following it. Finally, the witnesses to it. Some additional follow-up material is included as well. Overarching themes in Deuteronomy you'll want to pay close attention to include the love relationship between God and his people, the call for total commitment to God, and the blessings that follow the people who obey him. Why is all of this important? Because if you're a follower of Jesus, then this covenant applies not only to your spiritual ancestors, but to you as well. So, here we go with Deuteronomy chapter 1. These are the words Moses spoke to all Israel across the Jordan in the wilderness, in the Arabah opposite the Suppah, between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Di-Zahab. It is an 11-day journey from Oreb to Kadesh Barnea by way of Mount Seir. In the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first of the month, Moses told the Israelites everything the Lord had commanded him to say to them. This was after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth at Edrei. Across the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moses began to explain this law, saying, "The Lord our God spoke to us at Oreb. You have stayed at this mountain long enough. Resume your journey and go to the hill country of the Amorites and their neighbors in the Arabah, the hill country, the Judean foothills, the Negev, and the sea coast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, as far as the Euphrates River. See, I have set the land before you. Enter and take possession of the land the Lord swore to give you. Enter and take possession of the land the Lord swore to give you. Enter and take possession of the land the Lord swore to give your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their future descendants. I said to you at the time, I can't bear the responsibility for you on my own. The Lord your God has so multiplied you that today you are as numerous as the stars of the sky. May Yahweh, the God of your fathers, increase you 1,000 times more and bless you as he promised you. But how can I bear your troubles, burdens, and disputes by myself? Appoint for yourselves wise, understanding, and respected men from each of your tribes, and I will make them your leaders." You replied to me, "What you propose to do is good." So I took the leaders of your tribes, wise and respected men, and set them over you as leaders, officials for thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens, and officers for your tribes. I commanded your judges at the time, Hear the cases between your brothers, and judge rightly between a man and his brother and a foreign resident. Do not show partiality when deciding a case. Listen to small and great alike. Do not be intimidated by anyone, for judgment belongs to God. Bring me any case too difficult for you, and I will hear it. At that time I commanded you about all the things you were to do. We then set out from Oreb and went across all the great and terrible wilderness you saw on the way to the hill country of the Amorites, just as the Lord our God had commanded us. When we reached Kadesh Barnea, I said to you, You have reached the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord your God has set the land before you. Go and take possession of it. As Yahweh, the God of your fathers, has told you, do not be afraid or discouraged. Then all of you approached me and said, Let's send men ahead of us, so that they may explore the land for us and bring back a report about the route we should go up and the cities we will come to. The plan seemed good to me, so I selected 12 men from you, 1 man for each tribe. They left and went up into the hill country and came to the valley of Eshcol, scouting the land. They took some of the fruit from the land in their hands, carried it down to us, and brought us back a report. The land the Lord our God is giving us is good. But you are not willing to go up, rebelling against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, The Lord brought us out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites, so they would destroy us, because he hated us. Where can we go? Our brothers have discouraged us, saying, The people are larger and taller than we are. The cities are large, fortified to the heavens. We also saw the descendants of Anakim there. So I said to you, Don't be terrified or afraid of them. The Lord your God goes before you and will fight for you, just as you saw him do for you in Egypt. And you saw in the wilderness how the Lord your God carried you as a man carries his son along the way you traveled until you reached this place. But in spite of this, you did not trust the Lord your God, who went before you on the journey to seek out a place for you to camp. He went in fire by night and in cloud by day to guide you on the road you were to travel. When the Lord heard your words, he grew angry and swore an oath. None of these men in this evil generation will see the good land I swore to give your fathers, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He will see it, and I will give him and his descendants the land on which he has set foot, because he followed the Lord completely. The Lord was angry with me also because of you and said, You will not enter there either. Joshua, son of Nun, who attends you, will enter it. Encourage him, for he will enable Israel to inherit it. Your little children, whom you said would be plunder, your sons, who don't know good from evil, will enter there. I will give them land, and they will take possession of it. But you are to turn back and head for the wilderness by way of the Red Sea. You answered me, We have sinned against the Lord. We will go up and fight just as the Lord our God commanded us. Then each of you put on his weapons of war and thought it would be easy to go up into the hill country. But the Lord said to me, Tell them, Don't go up and fight, for I am not with you to keep you from being defeated by your enemies. So I spoke to you, but you didn't listen. You rebelled against the Lord's command and defiantly went up into the hill country. Then the Amorites who lived there came out against you and chased you like a swarm of bees. They routed you from Seir as far as Hormon. When you returned, you wept before the Lord, and he didn't listen to your requests or pay attention to you. For this reason, you stayed in Kadesh as long as you did. Chapter 2. Then we turned back and headed for the wilderness by way of the Red Sea, as the Lord had told me, and we traveled around the hill country of Seir for many days. The Lord then said to me, You've been traveling around this hill country long enough. Turn north. Command the people, You are about to travel through the territory of your brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. They will be afraid of you, so you must be very careful. Don't fight with them, for I will not give you any of their land, not even an inch of it, because I have given Esau the hill country of Seir as his possession. You may purchase food from them with silver, so that you may eat, and buy water from them to drink. For the Lord your God has blessed you in all the work of your hands. He has watched over your journey through this immense wilderness. The Lord your God has been with you this past 40 years, and you have lacked nothing. So we bypassed our brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. We turned away from the Arabah road, from the Elath and Ezion-Geber. We traveled along the road to the wilderness of Moab. The Lord said to me, "Show no hostility toward Moab, and do not provoke them to battle, for I will not give you any of their land as a possession, since I have given Ar as a possession to the descendants of Lot." The Emim, a great and numerous people, as tall as the Anakim, had previously lived there. They were also regarded as Rephaim, like the Anakim, though the Moabites called them Emim. The Horites had previously lived in Seir, but the descendants of Esau drove them out, destroying them completely, and settled in their place, just as Israel did in the land of its possession the Lord gave them. The Lord said, "Now get up and cross the Zered Valley." So we crossed the Zered Valley. The time we spent traveling from Kadesh Barnea until we crossed the valley was 38 years, until the entire generation of fighting men had perished from the camp, as the Lord had sworn to them. Indeed, the Lord's hand was against them, to eliminate them from the camp until they had all perished. When all the fighting men had died among the people, the Lord spoke to me. "Today you are going to cross the border of Moab at Ar. When you get close to the Ammonites, don't show any hostility to them or fight with them, for I will not give you any of the Ammonites' land as a possession. I have given it as a possession to the descendants of Lot." This too used to be regarded as the land of the Rephaim. The Rephaim lived there previously, though the Ammonites called them Zamzummim. The Rephaim lived there previously, though the Ammonites called them Zamzummim, a great and numerous people, tall as the Anakim. The Lord destroyed the Rephaim at the advance of the Ammonites, so that they drove them out and settled in their place. This was just as he had done for the descendants of Esau who lived in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites before them. They drove them out and lived in their place until now. The Caphtorim, who came from Caphtor, destroyed the Avim, who lived in villages as far as Gaza, and settled in their place. The Lord also said, "Get up, move out, and cross the Arnon Valley. See, I have handed Sihon, the Amorite king of Heshbon, and his land over to you. Begin to take possession of it. Engage him in battle. Today I will begin to put the fear and dread of you on the peoples everywhere under heaven. They will hear and report about you, tremble, and be in anguish because of you." So I sent messengers with an offer of peace to Sihon, king of Heshbon, from the wilderness of Kedemoth, saying, "Let us travel through your land. We will keep strictly to the highway. We will not turn to the right or the left. You can sell us food in exchange for silver, so we may eat, and give us water for silver, so we may drink. Only let us travel through on foot, just as the descendants of Esau who live in Seir did for us, and the Moabites who live in Ar, until we cross the Jordan into the land the Lord our God is giving us." But Sihon, king of Heshbon, would not let us travel through this land, for the Lord your God had made his spirit stubborn and his heart obstinate, in order to hand him over to you, as has now taken place. Then the Lord said to me, "See, I have begun to give Sihon and his land to you. Begin to take possession of it." So Sihon and his whole army came out against us for battle at Jahzah. The Lord our God handed him over to us, and we defeated him, his sons, and his whole army. At that time we captured all his cities, and completely destroyed the people of every city, including the women and children. We left no survivors. We took only the livestock and the spoil from the cities we captured as plunder for ourselves. There was no city that was inaccessible to us. From Aroer, on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the valley, even as far as Gilead. The Lord our God gave everything to us. But you did not go near the Ammonites' land, along the bank of the Jabbok River, the cities of the hill country, or any place that the Lord our God had forbidden.